Hey, what is good? Good evening to everybody tuning in. Renee Box Young from the South. What is good? Boxing fans, boxing critics, and boxing analysts. I just want to go live a little bit, just get more direct to it. I just want to get to direct to this analysis, breakdown between Tony Harrison and Jermell Charlo. Okay, I just want to get down to it, and just want to do it live this time. So I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are ready for the fight tomorrow. Okay, it's so soon. I'm so thankful it's here. Since the last fight, I thought it was going to take so long to see the rematch, but hey, here it is. So let's get to it. All right, I want to get right to it. Thanks for tuning in. All right, and if you tune in after a live, thank you so much for tuning in. Also, all right. So let's get to it, man. So I want to get back. All right, I want to go back. A lot of you guys already know, right, about the scorecards. Okay, so let's go back to Charlo versus Harrison 1. Okay, in the first fight, we know it was so controversial. All right, such a controversial fight, and personally, Lala D, what's up? Yeah, drive safely. All right, drive safely. I think I remember you commenting that on another video, a quick clip I did recently, right? You were driving or something. So go careful, Lala D. Salute, sister. Salute from Mexico. Um, so yeah, you go back to the first fight. Controversial win. Okay, a lot of people thought Charlo won. A lot of people thought Harrison won. I want to go to the scorecards. Okay, let's just get right to it. Okay. I was thinking about talking about other things as an introduction, but I kind of want to get right to it. Right. So if you go back to the scorecards, okay, I'm going to go to the scorecards. I mean, you had Julie Letterman, okay? She scored the bout 115 to 113, all right, in Harrison's favor. Sorry about that. In Harrison's favor. Okay, 115, 113. Okay, you had Ron McNair, okay? He judged also pretty much the same thing. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, 115 to 113. Ron McNair, okay, the judge, in Harrison's favor. Okay, and then the last one was Robin Taylor. All right, 116 to 112. Okay, so the third judge scored it 116 to 112. All right, but I personally think that Harrison won by the skin of his teeth because if you go back and watch it, I think I personally saw Charlo land in a lot more power punches and Harrison, not really convincingly winning. All right, that's kind of how I saw it. All right, I kind of thought Charlo won. Had they scored it a draw, maybe I would be more satisfied on that. But and did you see? And if you go back and remember, Tony Harrison's reaction, he was just going crazy on the win. I don't even know if he thought he won. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not mistaken, before they raised the hand, Harrison was, walking around, walking back and forth. I don't know if he was kind of nervous or he kind of thought he didn't win, maybe. I mean, he was just going crazy. I mean, I understand, the emotion and stuff of winning WBC championship, you know what I'm saying? But and if you go back, okay, when the ref was standing in between Charlo and Harrison, as I mentioned a moment ago, that the ref couldn't even get Harrison's hand because Harrison was walking around, pacing back and forth, and when they were reading the scorecards, and when the winner was announced, it looked like the referee in the middle. If you see his expression, I don't think he thought Harrison won because he was just like, his he was like zoned out. He had a zoned out look, so. That's just what I saw, you know what I mean? And with the fight, I personally thought Charlo won. But, I just want to go back, okay? And then what happened shortly after that, right? Harrison had an injury in his ankle, okay? And if you have paid attention, it seems like Harrison, actually, there's an interview. He just got interviewed, I think, today, in social media there and YouTube. You'll see that he was asked about his ankle and he got mad, okay? Now, this is a thing I want to point out right now, okay? A lot of people are talking about Charlo getting real emotional, okay? That his emotions are taking over. I want to talk about that point in a moment. But first, I want to talk a little bit about Harrison, and then we'll focus on Charlo, and then we'll go down my breakdown. And comment, people who are coming in, who may come in right now, just go ahead and comment, you know what I mean, in the chat, and we'll bounce off of that too. So Harrison, he got interviewed, okay, today, if I remember correctly. And he was asked about his ankle, and he got kind of angry about that, so because he's been getting asked so much about his ankle, you know what I mean? And so we know that he got injured and he had to postpone the rematch. This is kind of how I see it, but it's just my opinion. I'm not, you know what I mean? This is just my opinion. Okay, it may be true that he got injured, okay, but I just kind of think that do you guys remember? I'll give you guys an example. Do you guys remember when Porter? Okay, he got his championship belt from Keith Thurman. I forgot who it was. Forgive me if I'm sorry about that. Pardon me for that. But he had his WBC championship belt when he fought. I think it was Danny Garcia or something. It was a while ago. And then, he was the WBC welterweight champion of the world, right? And it seemed like, okay, he just wanted to hold on to that belt. And at that time, Spence was calling him out. Spence, was calling Porter out because because Porter had the WBC welterweight championship belt. He had that green strap, strap season. Spence wanted that belt. And ever since that, Porter won. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me get my memory back. Okay, I think it was the night when, Porter won the strap. I think it was against Danny Garcia. Somebody correct me, please, if I'm wrong. And then Spence came into the ring, if I'm not mistaken, and and confronted Porter. And then Porter, Spence is like, let's go. It makes me laugh because Porter responded. He's like, this is the easiest fight that can be made. Oh my gosh. I just laugh about little things, So he said, this is the easiest fight that can be made. And it didn't really look like he wanted to fight him. Porter didn't want to fight Spence. And what happened? Shortly after, he fought a mandatory, and it was Ugas. And he barely won Ugas. Actually, a lot of people got angry because they thought Ugas beat him. Ugas is an amazing boxer, man. I mean, respect to Ugas, man. He fought Porter. Porter won by the skin of his teeth, in my opinion. I mean, Ugas was doing amazing. A lot of people thought Ugas won. But the reason why I say all this, guys, is because I knew Porter was gonna not want to fight Spence immediately right after he won the belt. This is the point I'm making here, guys. So right after Porter got his WBC strap, and Spence confronted him, you know what I mean? Even though Porter said this is the easiest fight that can be made, he didn't fight him immediately. He fought a mandatory. I understand it's a mandatory, okay. Kind of like Anthony Joshua has been fighting mandatories, to avoid Wilder, but that's another tip. But it kind of relates, you know what I'm saying? I kind of see, and thankfully, I mean, respect to Porter, he finally fought Spence and lost. So, but hey, respect to Porter, man. But I kind of see that with Harrison. I think that, he got so, excited and happy, which I understand. It's awesome. You know what I mean? Winning the championship belt, the green strap. I think he kind of wanted to hold on to that, and it postponed. He got injured. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to get into if it's true or not that he got injured, but it was quite a bit of surprise because one of Charlo's, reasons of him thinking that Harrison faked his injury was, he said something along the lines with, the face-to-face interview or something. And, Charlo has been saying a lot that, Harrison mentioned something like, if I fake an injury, I can postpone the fight, something along those lines, right? Charlo was talking about that Harrison said that if he fakes an injury or what have you. And then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, Harrison got injured. So, in his ankle, apparently. So, that kind of leads me to think, that Harrison kind of wanted to hold on to that title, the longest that he can. Now it's a year, and now he has to do the rematch. So, but that's just me. I couldn't be wrong. But anyways, I'm just explaining this whole build-up, up to now. And sorry about that. My little dog's in the background. So, now I want to get to some quotes, okay, that they have said. Okay, I got some quotes, and actually before those quotes, so that's Harrison, okay? Harrison, he has gotten quite annoyed with so many questions, people asking him about his ankle. I don't know why he got. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not him. I'm not. I mean, we don't know his mind, but he's getting annoyed by that. Today he had an interview and he got quite annoyed. He's like, I don't know why people are asking me about this injury when it was bleeping 6 months ago, and man, this is today. I'm good today, and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So who knows, right? So Harrison's getting kind of irritated. Okay. Now also, in the face-off they had, right? Not the last face-off where they had their shirts off. The one before that where Charlo had them shades, right? He had them sunblocks, them sunglasses, right? The big ones. I think that was yesterday. Okay, so in that whole thing, they faced off, right? And they were starting to talk crap to each other, blah blah blah. They're angry. That they don't like each other. They generally don't like each other, which I think this is going to just be this is a really highly anticipated fight, you guys. This is really a highly anticipated rematch. Much more highly anticipated than the first fight. Because the first fight, was a normal fight, you know what I mean? I mean, really controversial. I'm talking about the build-up at least. The build-up to it was, Charlo, same old Charlo, serious, ready to go. Harrison, underdog, stuff like that. Okay? But the build-up to this rematch, you guys, it's just popping. It's just popping. A lot of emotions building up, on both sides. Even though Harrison says that he is in the mind of Charlo, but I think Charlo is in the mind of Harrison. This is another reason why. Watch. When you go back to that face-off that I'm talking about, it was yesterday. Not the last face-off, right? But the press conference before. It was yesterday, I think. And when they faced off, right, they were talking to each other, talking smack to each other, boom, boom, boom. And what happened is that Harrison explained it after that face-off when he was getting interviewed after that press conference. He said that he really, really, because did you see that when they were talking? Okay, they faced to turn the cameras, to smile or whatever, and then when they were like separating, Charlo came back and he started putting his finger, like pointing at Harrison in his face, like threatening him. You know what? You're gonna, I don't know what they were saying, but. And then Harrison just snapped. He got really angry. And what he said after that, you guys, a lot of people aren't paying attention and bring this up, right? And I have to, because like I said, I see things differently. I see things that a lot of people don't pick up. After that, he got interviewed by social media, what have you, YouTubers and stuff like that, reporters. And he said that now he's really mad. He explained that he got really mad when Charlo put his finger, his hand in Harrison's face, because he said that's like the ultimate sign of disrespect for him, for Harrison at least, not for people in general. But Harrison said, that to me, that was just disrespectful. And he snapped. I don't know if you guys saw that. Go back and watch that. Go back and watch that face-off. I repeat, it's when Charlo was wearing those glasses. Charlo was wearing those big old sunglasses. And Harrison, he admitted it. He admitted that was like the ultimate sign of disrespect, and he just blew it. He just blew up. He exploded. So I personally think, you guys, that I think Charlo is also getting in Harrison's head, man. A lot of people have it flipped, which I believe it's true to a certain extent. I think Harrison is in Charlo's head to a certain extent, but Charlo is also in Harrison's head, you guys. Charlo is also in Harrison's head, man. Like I said, I repeat, go back and watch that press conference. Watch that face-off that was done yesterday. Harrison snapped. He snapped at the very end. Okay, go to this whole buildup, guys. Go back, okay, months ago to now. Harrison, he's been cool. He's been calm. He's been saying the right words. He's a really intelligent guy. That's another thing I wanted to point out, guys. Speaking about Harrison before we get to Charlo. He is really, really intelligent, man. He's intelligent. And the way he speaks, the words he uses. Let me show you an example. Keith Thurman. Keith one-time Thurman. Yes. A lot of people call him Keith sometime Thurman. A lot of, what have you, Great comeback he made against Pacquiao, even though he lost, But, say what we may say about Thurman, you know what I'm saying? But Thurman is a really intelligent person, man. The way he speaks, when he's ringside commentator, I love listening to him because the way he speaks, I love hearing him in the interviews. He speaks really intelligently, guys, and that tells us a lot about a fighter. When a fighter speaks intellectually, that shows you that his mind is clear, he's focused, He thinks outside the box, and he brings that into the ring, you guys. Have you guys noticed that? People who speak intelligently, I'm not saying they're undefeated, things like that. No, but they fight very well in the ring. They have high ring IQ. Okay. So that's why Harrison, I mean, that's how you can see that. You can see that. We saw it in the first fight. I'm taking nothing away from Harrison. He's really, really skilled in the ring, you guys. Okay. And I'm going to get into the breakdown in a moment. Okay. And then I'll conclude with who I think is going to win. But, and this whole buildup of this rematch, guys, Tony Harrison speaks even though, he speaks hood, he's from the hood. He's from Detroit, you know what I mean? But he's really intelligent, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. And he fought really skilled in the first fight. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. So great footwork, jabbing. He's really fast. I mean, wow, he's really fast for the weight, So now, having said all that, like I said, yesterday, guys, I saw something different. Yesterday's face-off, Tony Harrison snapped. He even admitted it in the after the press conference. He admitted it. He said he snapped. He said, Charlo putting his finger in my face was a sign of ultimate disrespect. I'm paraphrasing, okay? It was a sign of ultimate disrespect. He just blew up. And he said, now I'm ready. Now I want to fight. Now I want to, so I think Charlo got in Harrison's head too, guys. I just saw these. I don't know. I think the internet's slow, guys. Christopher Jernett, salute. Once again, Lala D, salute. Yeah. Comment below, guys. I want to hear what you guys want to say. I know, Lala D, you're driving, so don't comment. Unless you have, hands-free texting. I don't know all these little terms with these new technology and apps they're doing. I guess you can text while you're speaking or something. So let me read these real quick, okay? Okay, yeah, so before I get to continue, because I really like to take time for the people who are commenting. Okay, Renee's driving but listening. Thanks. Salute, Renee. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for tuning in, man. Christopher Jernett. Salute, Lala D, the queen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, the queen. Christopher Jernett, what is up? Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay, Lala D. Yeah. If Harrison is reacting so heavily to that, not a great idea before. Exactly. Look, a lot of people aren't talking about this, you guys. I got to repeat this, okay? Too many people are focusing on Charlo being very emotional. But guys, if you go back, Charlo's always like that. Jermell Charlo is always like that. I mean, there's nothing new. You see what I'm saying? Jermell Charlo, when you go back to his previous fights, he always does this in press conferences. He's always serious. He's always ready to fight. He's emotional. That's just him. And we can't take that away from him. You know what I'm saying? And he's got up to where he is because of how he fights and how he is. I mean, that's how he is. And now Harrison, not just Harrison, but a lot of people saying that, Harrison is in Charlo's head now. Harrison won the mental game. I don't necessarily think so, guys. I don't necessarily think so. And like I said, Tony reacting, like Lala D said, Tony reacting heavily to two things. Check it out. To two things. Like I said, he just got interviewed today. Harrison just got interviewed today amongst the multitude of interviews. And one of them today specifically, he's getting annoyed by people talking so much about his ankle. That's getting to him. That's picking at him. Look, guys, that's because he said, I'm paraphrasing, all right? But he said today, so many people picking at me about my ankle. So many people talking. That was 6 months ago, man. Man, I'm tired of. Yeah, he didn't say it in those words, but he's irritated. He's irritated that so many people are talking about his ankle. That's one, all right? That's getting to his head already. That's been getting to his head. Another one is when Charlo put his finger in his face, in the last and yesterday's face-off, right? He even admitted it. I mean, to admit those things and to say those things, I don't think that's smart. And that's what I'm saying. Tony Harrison has had so much amazing composure up to recently. Up to yesterday and today, I think Charlo's in Harrison's head now, guys. I mean, we have to look at that spectrum also. Not just that Charlo is, Harrison's in Charlo's head. I mean, Charlo's always emotional. That's him. You know what I'm saying? He takes it personal. He takes fights personal, and that's him. Okay, this is another example. All right, I'll give you another example. Caleb Plant. Amazing fighter. I love him, man. He's one of my faves. Caleb Plant, right? He's a real dog, man. I mean, he amazingly skilled fighter also. But one thing, the reason why I bring him up is that when he's interviewed, I don't know if you guys have picked it up. He says that he takes every fighter personal. Everybody, he says that everyone in his division, Those are his enemies. He's personal. I mean, just look at his eyes, you guys. Look how he talks. Look at his demeanor. You know he means business. He's emotional, but he's serious. You know, and he takes it personal. You know what I'm saying? He takes fights personal. You know, so I mean, that's how Charlo is. That's what I'm saying. He's always been like that. You know what I'm saying? Charlo has always been like that. So we also have to contemplate that. I think, Harrison's also getting Charlo's getting in Harrison's head, you guys. Okay, he's getting his in Harrison's head. Now, if we flip to Charlo now, okay. Now I'm gonna get to their quotes in a moment, okay, and some things lead up to the fight, some things that they have been saying, all right. But Charlo, all right, that's one thing. He's always been emotional. He's always like that. He fights amazing in the ring, and he said something. This is the thing, guys. When you lose, especially like a champ like Charlo, this is his first loss, all right, against Harrison. Yeah, Lala D. Yeah, exactly. And I like Sweet Hands too. Yeah, I love him, man. He's an amazing fighter. There's lots of great fighters, in this day and age. You know what I'm saying? I'm just excited about boxing. I've been enjoying it up to now recently, and it's getting better and better, man. This is awesome. We just got to enjoy the ride. Obviously, there are some things that are not favorable in the sport, but hey, we got to enjoy these fighters that are coming up. So yeah, I love Caleb Plant, man. So now Charlo, he said something important. I think you guys saw it. Maybe it's just like I said. I repeat, they genuinely don't like each other. These guys, Harrison and Charlo. But when they were in the face-to-face interview, you know how they fight. PBC does that little program where they're facing each at sitting down on a glass table and they're talking to each other. Um, Charlo Charlo said something very important, guys. He said that he has learned a lot from this loss. This is what I'm getting at, guys. When a fighter loses his O, look at Anthony Joshua, guys. As much as controversial as Anthony Joshua is, he got smashed, by Andy Ruiz in the first fight. We know that. But he took that loss and he brought out something good. You know what I mean? Did you see the rematch? I mean, look how Anthony Joshua improved. It's just what I analyzed it right before they were going to fight in the right before the rematch. I said that, and I've been saying it, that Anthony Joshua, he's going to box Andy Ruiz out. I actually thought I also kind of mixed in, which was I was wrong. Okay, that it was going to be a robbery. That's kind of what I thought, or the judges were going to do something crooked. You know what I'm saying? But by no means. But I was correctly spot on this, that Anthony Joshua was going to outbox Ruiz. He was going to use his jab. He was going to use his height, his distance, and he was going to clinch up a lot. And that's what he did. Okay, the reason why I say this is because Anthony Joshua, he got a lot more determined to win and get those straps back. He prepared. He really, really got in the zone. Okay. And that's what I think. The reason why I say this, guys, is that's what I think Charlo, he's in that mindset also. With this loss by Harrison, I think he's just going to be a lot more focused. Emotional, he's always emotional, right? That's why I think a lot of people are misinterpreting. A lot of people, I think, are misinterpreting Jermell Charlo, that Harrison is in Charlo's head and it's over. Harrison won the mental game. I don't think so. Because, and not just in the face-to-face interview, in interviews that Charlo had before, up to in the buildup of this rematch, Charlo said, and he said he's a lot hungrier now. And, Charlo, look at this, guys. I mean, you guys, we have to understand Charlo and the trajectory of his career. He's always been hungry. He's always shown that in his fights. He fights with passion and heart and hunger and trains like that. You know what I mean? That's why I respect both Charlo brothers, because they're very similar in their game as far as, their mindsets, their hearts, and how serious they take the sport. That's why I love them. I love them. They get criticized a lot. I don't criticize them much because, I mean, that's what I love in fighters. You know what I'm saying? They're real. They're 100%. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that Charlo's saying now that he's a lot hungrier. They call themselves lions. You know what I'm saying? Lions only. And if you fight a starving lion, okay, that's trouble right there, you guys. I think that Jermell Charlo, he has been training in the lead up to this rematch a lot more hungrier. because he knows he lost and he has to prove. Now, look at guys. Okay, look, I don't want to, fast forward here, but this is what I started with in this live, right? Saying that the win was very controversial. Harrison, in my personal opinion, okay, won by the skin of his teeth. I mean, that's my personal opinion. He won by the skin of his teeth, okay? Now, Charlo, okay, if Harrison, I mean, just look at the scorecards, it was pretty close, right? 113, what did I say? It was 115. Yeah, it was 115, 113, 115, 113, and I think I said 116, 112. Yeah. So those are the scorecards, right? And a lot of people saw it controversial. I saw it personally that Harrison won by the skin of his teeth. Go to the scorecards, you see it, a very close fight. So if Charlo barely lost, okay, controversially won, okay, if he barely lost and he fought with that hunger that he always has in all his fights, imagine how much better he's going to do and how much more, focused he's going to be for this rematch and how he's going to perform in this fight. You see? That's what I'm saying. A lot of people ain't talking about this guy. Nobody's talking about this. Okay, like it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm seeing it differently, okay? Now, the way that Charlo is speaking and that hunger he's explaining and describing, he's a lot more hungrier now in this rematch to get that fight, to get that belt back. I think he's gonna, I think he might surprise us in this rematch, guys. I really think that Charlo is gonna surprise us. I'm not getting to my conclusion yet, but I think that Charlo is gonna really surprise a lot of people. And, so that's what I got to say as far as both of these guys, okay, in the lead up to the fight. Now let's get to their quotes, okay? And this is in relation to what I was just saying a moment ago. But first, let's get to their quotes, okay? These are some things that they have been saying, all right? So I got this here on the website here, Premier Boxing Champions, right? It says here, quotes, this is Harrison. Yeah, this is Harrison, okay? These are just some of his quotes, right? It says, quote, "The delay just made me even hungrier heading into this fight." That's what Harrison said, okay? Said Harrison. Quote, "Watching Charlo the night we were supposed to go shine and rejuvenate himself, it built up so much hunger in me. I'm tired of the talk and the noise. I'm ready to go." Okay, that's what Harrison said. Now let's continue reading. Okay, it says here, "We're looking to work smarter this time." Okay, now this is something I want to talk about here. Added Harrison, "I think everything I did before worked, but we want to make it even more decisive. The plan is to be more technically sound overall." We know that. I'm adding this. I'm going to stop right there. We know that. The thing here about Harrison, guys, is that, like I said a moment ago, he's an amazingly skilled boxer. And that's what he's going to bring in the second. I don't think he's not going to brawl, you guys. I mean, Harrison is not going to brawl. That's not his way of fighting. If you go back to his other fights, I mean, he doesn't fight like that much. He's more of a technical, very fundamental, very skilled, very fast, high IQ boxer, and that's awesome. I mean, I love that. That's a really great fighting style. And he's not going to change that, you guys, because that's how he won, even though it was a really, really close, it was a really, really controversial win. I don't think personally it was a convincing win, but, Harrison is describing he's going to do the same thing. And Charlo knows that, you guys. You guys think he's not preparing for that kind of fight? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, guys. Charlo, he's ready for this, you guys. And so is Harrison. He's ready for Charlo, okay? So I'm going to continue reading. So it says, "The plan is to be more technically sound overall. You may see an early knockout." Okay, I got to stop there. Harrison, this is something I wanted to point out, okay? When I started reading these quotes, okay? What I planned before going live. So Harrison is saying, "You may see an early knockout." That's a quote from him, all right? I don't think Harrison's gonna knock out Charlo, you guys. I don't know if you guys remember. Did Harrison hurt Charlo in the first fight? I don't remember seeing that. I don't think Harrison's power punches are really, really as powerful enough or are powerful enough to knock Charlo out. I really, really doubt that, you guys. On the contrary, I think Charlo, his power punches, they phased Harrison. If you go back to the fight, I don't remember which round it was, but he was phased. Harrison was phased by Charlo's power punches, man. So I don't know why. I mean, I guess he may be working on his strength and conditioning, so that's what Harrison is saying, but I doubt that's going to happen. So let's continue reading. So I'll repeat a quote. He says, "You may see an early knockout. It's tense between both parties. I'm pretty sure he wants to knock me out as much as I want to knock him out. But I don't think Harrison's going to knock him out. But it might happen because when you go to his record, I mean, he has knockouts, quite a bit of knockouts. Anyways, let's continue. Quote, however, whoever has the best plan will win. But I'm by far the better athlete. Athlete for athlete, it's not even close. I'll beat him in everything. Running, basketball, football. My style is perfect for his style. He's Shane Mosley to my Vernon Forrest. I'll beat him every time I face him." I disagree with that, but that's what Harrison is saying, okay? But hey, we're going to see in the rematch. It might be true. So let's go down to what Charlo said, all right? This is his quote. Okay, it says here, "I still feel strongly that I won that first fight, and I'm going to do things in a more dominant fashion this time," said Charlo. "I'm coming into this fight being the overpowering, strong, ferocious Jermell Charlo. Ouch. Tony Harrison is not on my level. It's my job on December 21st to prove that and to prove my worth. I'm coming in there mentally focused. When I fought George Cota, that's a prelim of what's to be expected from me in the future." Okay. This is something I want to talk about, you guys, which is maybe not in. Oh, you disagree? Let's see what Lala D said here. "Yeah, I disagree too, Renee, but I hope Tony really believes it." Yeah. I mean, of course he believes it. You know what I'm saying? I think he does, but I don't know. Or maybe I don't know. I don't know. Who am I to say he doesn't or he does, right? But he's probably saying it just to pull in fans, pull in more hype, because I don't think Tony's going to knock out Charlo. It's just hard to believe that. But hey, that would be a really, really, really interesting thing to do. But I don't think, look at guys, this is something, getting back to this quote. This is the problem that I see, guys, that now I'm going to get into my breakdown, okay, based off of these quotes, and not just based off of that, but from their styles, okay? I'm going to get into my breakdown. Now, something that Charlo, I think he should not be focusing on is what he said, all right? Okay, I'm going to repeat what he just said. He quoted this, okay? I don't know in what interview this was. I think this was in the face-to-face or something, but, it says here, "It's my job on December 21st to prove that and to prove my worth. I'm coming in there mentally focused." Okay, here it is. "When I fought George Jorge Cota, right? Okay, that's a prelim of what's to be expected from me in the future." Okay, I don't know if you guys saw that fight against Charlo, or between Charlo and Cota. If I remember correctly, Harrison was on the sidelines also watching that fight. And hey, I respect, it's cool. Harrison, he was also, he was celebrating Charlo's victory in that fight, which was cool. And Charlo devastatingly knocked out Cota. And now the thing here is that Charlo is saying that, the way I'm paraphrasing, the way I knocked out Cota is what is going to be expected in this rematch. So I think Charlo, that's the problem. I don't think Charlo should be, because you guys know what boxers say. Time and time again, we hear it. Time and time again, we hear it. That they're always asked the same thing. Are you going to look for the knockout? Are you going to look for the knockout? A lot of them say no. I mean, the knockouts come naturally. You know what I'm saying? Knockouts come naturally in fights, and that's how it is. They come unexpectedly. That's the reason why a fighter gets knocked out, because it's unexpected. Okay, go back to, this is recent. Let's go back to the recent ones, okay? Wilder versus Ortiz rematch. That knockout was unexpected because, Ortiz was boxing Wilder out greatly. I think, I guess I can say I know Ortiz was winning every round. I mean, I don't think that's debatable. And what happened? Boom! Right, straight down the pipe, power punch, right-hander from Wilder. Game over. It was a surprise. It was out of nowhere. Okay, it was unexpected. That's how knockout come. That's how knockouts happen. So. And yes, Wilder was looking for the knockout, but it came naturally. It came naturally. So I think that's the problem that Charlo might have, and we're gonna go back to another fight. I'm gonna tell you in a moment. I think that's the problem that Charlo might have, that mindset he might have, you know, in this rematch, guys. If he comes in there just wanting to knock him out, I think that's not going to happen, and we might have Tony Harris. We might have a repeat of the first fight, guys, or we might have Tony Harrison convincingly boxing out Charlo in an amazing, impressive fashion. That's what might happen, guys. Excuse me. When if Charlo comes in there just wanting to knock him out. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to Navarrete. Okay, this was an ESPN fight. Top rank on ESPN, what have you. Okay, go back to Navarrete Dogbo rematch. I don't know if you guys saw it. a lot of people probably didn't see it. Amazing fight, man. I like Dogbo. And in that rematch, the problem was in that rematch for Dogbo. Okay. Oh, you knew the KO. I think. Well, the thing here, Lala D. I think everybody knew the KO was coming on that one. Yeah, man. I think everybody knew, huh? I think I'll maybe rephrase it. As far as it came as a surprise. I don't think Wilder knew exactly when he was going to knock out Ortiz. It just came boom out of nowhere. He saw the opening. I mean, he saw the opening, bam. He saw the opportunity, and bam, unexpected. But yeah, I think we all knew that. I was actually getting worried. That Wilder was going to lose, man. When this round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, round 6, you know what I mean? With Ortiz just amazingly boxing out Wilder, I was like, man, Wilder, what are you doing? I was getting kind of disappointed in Wilder. I was like, man, what are you doing, man? Do something, jab more, use your leg work. Come on, avoid them southpaw punches that are coming your way, man. I mean, I don't know. I was getting disappointed and frustrating in Wilder. But hey, that's the beauty of boxing, isn't it? That's the beauty. That's the science of it. The sweet science, right? And out of nowhere, bam. Yeah, I think everybody knew, but I was kind of doubting it, honestly. And while the fight was maturing and developing, and the thing here, like I'm saying, that if Charlo's coming into this Harrison fight looking for the knockout, I don't think it's going to happen, you guys, because like I said, go back to the Navarrete, okay, versus Dogbo fight. I think that was last year. I don't remember. In the rematch, Dogbo was just looking for the knockout. He wasn't jabbing. He was just waiting and throwing wild right hands and power punches that almost got him off balance because he was looking for the knockout so much, and it didn't happen. Navarrete boxed out Dogbo so beautifully, and he won again. Navarrete won again, and I mean, it was a big downfall for Dogbo, and you go back to go back. I like to go back to recent fights. Go back to it because memory's fresh like that. Go back to Wilder versus Tyson Fury. If you go back to that, guys, Wilder, he was looking for the knockout too much, man. I mean, he was looking for the knockout too much, and that's why that's why we saw Tyson Fury. It's debatable, yeah, but Tyson Fury was boxing out Wilder to a certain extent, because Wilder was looking for the KO too much. If I'm not mistaken, Wilder admitted that after the fight, that he was looking too much for the KO. He was just looking too anxious, just waiting. And obviously we know what happened at the end of the fight, where he finally found it, Wilder, that knocked him down. And I personally think that the referee counted too slowly, and it is what it is. It was a tie, but it was a draw. But so if Charlo is gonna come into the rematch like that, just thinking about the knockout, I don't think it's gonna come, you guys. And I think that Harrison will win. So I don't want Charlo to fall into that error or that mistake of just, I want to knock him out. I'm gonna knock him out. You know what I'm saying? He has to box, man. He has to box. He has to be smart and do the same thing he did in the first fight. But but the thing is, he did say something correct. I'm gonna repeat the quote. He said, "I'm coming into this fight being the overpowering, strong, ferocious Jermell Charlo." He's always like that. You know what I'm saying? Now let's repeat a little bit earlier. He said, I still feel strongly that I won that first fight, and I'm going to do things in a more dominant fashion this time. You saw? So I think he's going to do kind of the same things that he always does when he fights, but he's just, and like he said, he's explaining it just like he said. He's going to be more aggressive, which I think that's going to be great. Okay. So if Charlo comes in more aggressive, but not just looking for the knockout, boxing aggressively like he usually does, he's going to dominate Tony Harrison. Now, this is a thing. Obviously, we know, guys. Obviously, we know. Okay, wait. Let me continue reading these quotes, and then we're going to get a little bit deeper into the breakdown, okay? Charlo continues. He says, I want to look for the knockout and set it up. Okay, that's what Charlo said. I want to look for the knockout and set it up, continued Charlo. Quote, I don't want it to go to the judges. That's my worst nightmare. Whoa. If it does go 12 rounds, he's going to be very injured at the end. Whoa. The loss taught me how to be more patient and to take things. Yeah, exactly. So this is what he's saying. The loss taught me, I quote again, the loss taught me how to be more patient and to take things step by step. That's good. Continue. I'm going to show everyone why Jermell Charlo is a threat to the whole 154-pound division. I think that's the super welterweight. I personally feel I'm the best in the division. I'm an upgraded Jermell Charlo that you'll see. Okay, that's dangerous, you guys. So now let's get a little deeper into the breakdown, all right? Oh, let me see what Lala D said before we get into that. Yeah, Wilder said that once the KO came, it was so easy. He said he was too excited at first. Exactly. And that's the error that I think that Wilder fell into, right? That he was just looking for the knockout too much. And that's the error that he had when he fought Tyson Fury. Now let's get into that just real fast, right? Real fast, because Wilder and Fury is just too hot, man. I mean, I can't pass it up, and we'll get back to Charlo right now. That's why this live is called. I think I put the title, Harrison versus Charlo, Tony Harrison versus Jermell Charlo 2 breakdown, something like that, and more, because we're gonna mix a little bit more in this. So that's why I think, you guys, that Wilder is gonna really, really take Tyson Fury out in the rematch, more convincingly, early on in the fight, because he was too anxious in the first fight, and Wilder learned a lot more. The thing about Tyson Fury is that you don't see anything new from him. He has that, that weird, nervous defense, weird, spontaneous moving around defense, slippery defense. You know what I'm saying? And Tyson Fury is always like that. And Wilder had the 12 rounds to figure that out. He figured it out already. And throughout all this training, all these fights between, now he knows what he's going to do against Fury. That's why I think Wilder's going to impressively win in the rematch, guys. That's what I think. Okay? But later I'll go live, before the fight. Don Dada Salute family. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, we're talking about Tony Harrison versus Jermell Charlo. We're talking about what they're quoting, the lead up to the whole, rematch, and how Jermell Charlo also has gotten in Tony Harrison's head. I repeat, Jermell Charlo has also gotten in Tony Harrison's head, because everybody's talking about how Tony Harrison has gotten in Charlo's head. It's on the contrary too, you guys. Harrison he's thinking a lot about Charlo, and in an annoying way. And when I'm saying, I don't personally think that Harrison won the mental game, and I explained that earlier. If you can go back to that, all right, go back to that when you can. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. So we're getting at this, okay? So Charlo is saying that, okay? He's saying that he wants to look for the knockout and set it up. So, he doesn't want it to go to the judges. That's his worst nightmare. We just read the quotes that he said. And so that's the problem, that if Charlo only looks for the knockout, I think that's a problem. But like he just said in this quote that I just read, excuse me, that he's going to be more patient and take things step by step. Yeah, that's the way to do it. And he also said he's going to be more dominant, more ferocious, strong. And that's the thing I want to focus on here. If Charlo does that, you guys, that's going to really, really pressure Harrison. Now, the thing here about Harrison, though, you guys, what's gonna contradict that, That's a troubleshooting skill that Tony Harrison is going to use. He's going to use his footwork. He's going to use the clinching also. Because if I'm not mistaken, when Tony Harrison was in trouble, when Charlo was power punching him, when you go back to the first fight, Tony Harrison would clinch up, man. Because he felt the power. But if Charlo is more aggressive and chases him down, cuts off the ring, Charlo is going to really hurt Harrison, you guys. I repeat. Harrison said that, the knockout, I'm going to repeat what Harrison quoted. He said, this is a quote, the plan is to be more technically sound overall. You may see an early knockout. I really doubt. I repeat this, guys. Harrison's not going to knock out Charlo, man. I mean, heck no. Go to the first fight, you guys. Go back to the first fight, watch it. Charlo was not fazed by Harrison's power punches. On the contrary, Harrison was fazed by Jermell Charlo's power punches. And the thing here to help Harrison, he's going to use a lot of that footwork. He's going to be running around the ring. That's just Tony Harrison's style, and I'm not criticizing it. I mean, that's a great style. Hit and not get hit. That's okay. Let me say something real fast. Let me say something, please. Okay, a lot of people ignored, the Chisora Parker potential fight, Chisora fought, because, real quick, you guys, let me explain this, Please bear with me. Chisora in the heavyweight division, this was a month ago? This was recent. Chisora was going to fight Parker, A couple months ago, there was a lead up to that fight. They did also, and in the UK, they also do that, face-to-face stuff. I think they got the idea from PBC. Or I don't know. Can somebody remind me, where did that face-to-face, those interviews come from? I think it came from PBC, where fighters sit on the table and they speak to each other, and there is a moderator who's asking questions, and they're looking at each other and they're speaking and stuff. Or I think it comes from way before that, HBO. I don't know. But what I'm getting at is that Chisora and Parker, they had a face-to-face session also, And we all know, or maybe you don't know, Parker, after that, incidentally, he got bit by a spider. And Parker had to pull out of the Chisora fight, He had to pull out of the Chisora fight. And who replaced him? I forgot the guy's name. Parker. Oh, man, it's on the tip of my tongue. But anyways, Chisora had to fight another guy. But my point in saying this is that Chisora, this is what I'm saying. I'm going to connect it with Tony Harrison, right, and his style. But before we do that, let's get down here real fast, right? Comments, Lala D Queen, who is your pick in the fight? Yes, Lala D, tell us, who is the pick in your fight? Here's the answer. Boom, Lions. Hey, I like that. Lions, I like them Lions icons. You forgot to put the only, Lala D. You forgot to put the only. Lions only with the exclamation. No, I was kidding. So PBC, PBC, if I'm not mistaken, they're the ones who started this whole face-to-face thing. And a lot of these other promoting, these other platforms are starting to pick up and copy that, but that's cool. Wait, not sure. Okay. Oh, you're second guessing. Yeah, keep listening to this, all right, Lala D, because you might second guess as far as who's going to win. That's why this fight is so anticipating. That's why this rematch is so anticipating. This is an amazing way to conclude the year, you guys. This is an amazing way to conclude this year of boxing. Harrison versus Charlo rematch. I love it. Yeah, man. Merry Christmas, right? Happy New Year. All right, so who has the best jab? If I'm not mistaken, man, Harrison has a better jab. Yeah, it's sharper. It's faster. Man, Harrison's fast. I'm gonna get to that in a moment, you guys. We're getting into the breakdown. I'm just doing. Yeah, or Jermell's. Okay, you think Jermell's jab is the best? I don't know, man. It's hard to say. It can be. Okay, I'm gonna get to that in a moment. I'm gonna get into the specific breakdown in a moment. Let me just get back to it real fast. Okay, so. And I'm focusing on this aspect right now in the breakdown of Tony Harrison's footwork, and his style. Okay, watch this. Chisora and this Parker face-to-face, all right? They were talking, and Chisora, He doesn't, which is I think is totally foolish as a boxer to say this, but he said it. Whatever. That's just his way of doing it. Chisora said, because Chisora said no. Parker was saying something to Chisora like, you know what, I'm gonna hit you and it's gonna hurt and this and that. And Chisora's like, I don't care. I don't like. He was saying something along those lines. I don't care if you hit me. Good. I'll be there. I'll be there to be hit. And then like the moderator was like, oh, so you don't care, Chisora, if you don't get hit by Parker? He's like, no, I don't care. I don't give a bleep. I don't give a bleep. And he said this. Check this out. Chisora said, this whole hit and not be hit, I think that's bull crap. I think that's BS. I think that I'm paraphrasing, okay? Chisora doesn't believe in the hit and not get hit method of boxing. I think that's totally foolish, man. I mean, I'm sorry, man. All due respect, but I think that's really, really foolish from a boxer to say that. As a matter of fact, if he believes that so much, go to bare knuckle fighting, bro. I mean, bare knuckle fighting, I need to push more content on that. I pushed a little bit. I mean, recently, I think just one video on it, but I got to push more because bare knuckle fighting, I like it, but I think it's a little graphic. But yeah, I like the boxing element of it. Go to bare knuckle boxing fighting championship, Chisora. You believe in hit and get hit? I mean, but the reason why I say this to you guys is that Tony Harrison, he is a hit and not get hit type of fighter. That's just him. He's going to use that leg work. He's going to use that speed, that amazing head work to evade Charlo's punches, power punches. And now those are Tony Harrison's pluses and advantages that he has, okay? But think about this, guys. Those skills had him barely winning in the first fight, just by a few points, winning by the skin of his teeth, in my personal opinion. Winning by the skin of his teeth, you guys. Who do you guys think won? I want to get your opinions, guys. Please put in the chat. Who do you guys think won the fight? Who won the first fight? Charlo or Harrison? Okay, please, I want to hear your opinions. Okay, now let's. So that's the thing. Tony Harrison will win. He's not going to knock Charlo out. Heck no. If he does, that's just going to send shockwaves in the division, you guys. And if Tony Harrison moves up, awesome. If he moves down, I don't think he's going to move down though. But he's kind of thin though. He probably can, but I don't think so. So that would be an amazing, impressive win if Tony Harrison wins Charlo by a knockout, which I think is really outlandish. Okay, but that's the keys to victory. Tony Harrison is going to use more boxing skills. Okay, I'm sorry, the same boxing skills that he already has: footwork, athleticism, running around the ring, which a lot of people don't like sometimes in the sport of boxing, as far as fans, I guess. Because it makes us, we want to see more action. And, it's like, okay, an example, right? Mayweather, one of the bit prominent examples, Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, right? That was a more technical fight. A lot of people were disappointed in how boring it was, quote unquote boring. But those who know the sweet science, what I'm saying, and just watch, and the points being, the smart jabs, getting, landing and the right timing, and things like that, the points getting racked up with the point, with the punches being landed, and not necessarily a brawl. A lot of hardcore fans like that, and I like it. But at the same time, a lot of people didn't see it as action packed, and so Tony Harrison, okay, if he does that, if he's not going to knock out Charlo, we know that. I think I can say we know that. Tony Harrison, if he's just going to do that, use his footwork, that speed that he has, his head work, his head movements are fast also. Upper body movement is quick, those are the keys to Tony Harrison's victory, not knocking out Charlo. But if he does, wow, I don't think that's going to happen though. So let me get to the chats real fast, and then we're going to get to Charlo. Okay, hold on. Okay, so Jermell's chatting. Okay, Lala D. Well, Jermell's jab is powerful. Yeah, that's the thing there. Some may say that doesn't mean the best. I mean, look at this. The Lala D thing here is that Jermell's jab is powerful. I think it's a lot more powerful than Tony Harrison's, because I'm saying Tony Harrison doesn't phase in power punches. He doesn't phase Charlo. If we go back to the first fight, Charlo wasn't phased. On the contrary, Charlo got angrier. Charlo got angrier when he got punched. He didn't get phased, though. He just got angrier, and it fueled him. It fueled the fire. Throw logs in that fire. It fueled the flames. So I don't, but yeah, now the thing here though that is that Tony Harrison, he's like so fast, you know what I mean? Charlo's fast too though. So I don't know, man. This is gonna be some amazing fight, but I'm gonna give my conclusion in a moment. So yeah, Jermell's jab is powerful, definitely, Lala D. So I don't know, man. I mean, both jabs are up there, but I personally think Tony Harrison's jab is a little bit more quicker. Um, how many viewers left doing Conklin fight? Millions. How many viewers left? And then it says here Mel, Lala D Mel, okay. And then here Don Dada. I still haven't decided yet, but right. And right here, I do think they fighting 3, so Mel, I guess. And then we have who footwork. Yeah, whose footwork is better? That's what I'm saying, man. I think Harrison's footwork is better, man. I think Harrison's footwork is better. But the thing is, what will troubleshoot? What will contradict that footwork is Charlo cutting off the ring, and that's how guys. Okay, let's get to my conclusion. I'm gonna go right now. I got some Domino's pizza waiting for me. Oh yeah. Hey, I'm on vacation. This is my first day of vacation. I stayed home all day. Okay, I stayed home all day. I have a really, really, really busy life, man. I mean, I study full time. More than full time. I work. I study a full time. It's funny how I get wording messed up sometimes. I just said, if you didn't pay attention, I just said I study a full-time job. I was going to say that. I work an overtime job. So I want to say I work overtime, right, in academia. I'm studying a degree online. Okay. I have other things that I do. Okay. Outside of that. Okay. Just like you guys, I'm sure I have no time to breathe sometimes. And my vacation is today. I'm having, Lord willing, I'm going to be off until January 5th. Man, today I just stayed home all day, man. I slept late. I took like another 30-minute nap. And then after that, I took like another 2-hour nap. No, not that long, but man, I'm just being lazy today. And then I ordered a Domino's pizza. I'm ready to tear this thing up. And then, hey, to top it off, I'm going to watch Daniel Jacobs and Cesar Chavez Jr. Even though I don't really like Cesar Chavez Jr. as far as his boxing ability and stuff like that, because I don't think he takes things seriously, but whatever. Hey, it's a great day so far, man. Anyways, I'm just explaining why I'm going to go off in a moment. All right. So yeah, Don Dada, I think Harrison has better footwork, man. So let's see. I like Mel's footwork. Yeah. Lala D, you're on it. You're right on it. Maybe Harrison's is great too. Yeah. Lala D, you're right on it, girl. I mean, I personally think that Harrison's footwork is better. But man, Charlo has to cut it off. And guys, this is how I think the fight. Okay, I'm going to my conclusion now. As far as how I think the fight's going to go out, Harrison is going to use a lot more of that footwork. He's going to evade to the best of his ability Charlo's punches. Okay, and it's going to be a kind of ring around the rosy, quote unquote. I'm not disrespecting it. Like if you hear this live, guys, you guys know I'm not disrespecting it. Tony Harrison's fighting style, I love that. Mayweather's my favorite fighter. Okay, he's my favorite fighter of all. He's one of my favorites of all time. Mayweather Jr. Man, I mean, he uses amazing footwork. That's me. But you know what I'm saying. But hey, Pretty Boy was a fighter also, man. Wow, Pretty Boy, man. Back in those days, before he was Money Mayweather, man, he was aggressively fighter, man. He was awesome. But that's how I think the fight's going to go out, guys. I think it's going to be a ring around the rosy thing. Tony Harrison is not going to be foolish enough to go toe-to-toe against Jermell Charlo. If Tony Harrison is foolish enough to do that, and if he gets emotional in the fight, which I think he won't, okay? Because at the beginning of this live, I said that Tony Harrison's very intelligent. He's really, really, really intelligent. His IQ is very high. I don't think he's going to be that foolish enough to go to face-to-face and toe-to-toe against Jermell Charlo, okay? Okay, so I mean, that's not going to happen. So I think it's going to be more of a ring around the rosy fight, and Jermell Charlo is going to be chasing him down more aggressively, and I think Jermell Charlo has a big chance of beating Tony Harrison down, not to a pulp, but to a highly probable knockout. Thank you so much, Don Dada. Enjoy vacation. Thank you so much, brother, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Don't let your pizza get cold. Hey, it's already cold. Actually, right before I went live, it got, it's been sitting there. Because the thing is, I planned on having my pizza coming first, so I won't get interrupted in my live. That was the plan. Pizza came, and I set it down here on the kitchen counter here. And I said, okay, it's time to go live. I got to go live before I eat, man. I got to do that. I got to do it. I mean, I've been wanting to go live since this whole week, man, but it's been too busy. Me too. What? Okay, me too. What? I'm sorry. Me too about how the fight's gonna play out, girl. No, we know Tony can box. Can he fight? Yeah, exactly. No, Tony can't fight. Okay, actually, check this out, guys, real fast. This is an interesting note that Don Dada said here. Okay, okay, this is Tony Harrison's record. Okay, he has 28 wins, 21 knockouts, 2 losses. Right, one of those losses. Okay, so actually, one of the losses were from Cecile McCalla. No, I'm sorry, my wrong. Sorry, by Willie Nelson, and then by Jarrett Hurd. Now, yeah, guys, Tony Harrison's not a. I don't think he can. I don't think he can fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Tony Harrison's a fighter because, like, if you go back to his fights, he doesn't do that. If you guys go back to his previous fights and stuff, but his record shows 21 KOs. I haven't seen all his fights. I've seen a few of them, a couple of them. He does not. The ones I've seen, he just boxes. So 21 KOs. That shows that I guess he has power, but I mean, that's not too convincing. I guess Charlo's power is another story. You know what I mean? And it's interesting because Charlo has 32 fights and 16 KOs. He has less KOs. And Charlo, I mean, he can box and fight. Maybe he doesn't box as well and is technically sound, I guess, and his IQ is not as high as Harrison's, but he can fight. So that's the thing that makes it out. You know what I'm saying? That makes up for it. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that makes up for it. Lala D said, Mayweather being my favorite. Me too. Yeah, I mean, he's my favorite. But, as you guys have seen other videos I have made, I guess, if you have seen them on my recent Mayweather things, because, Mayweather, as a promoter, I don't favor him. I just think he's just sticking his nose in too much and trying to get the limelight, things like that. You know what I'm saying? But no, as a fighter, man, he's amazing. Man, Mayweather is my favorite. Yeah, Mayweather is one of my favorites. Okay, so I'm about to close down, you guys. So it says, Don Dada, make just one Mel Harrison video, please. Just 60 seconds. Like, yeah. I like them short videos, Lala D. That's cool. And it looks like you're driving. You got to be careful, girl, all right? Be careful. Willie Nelson concerts. Okay, so, okay. Conclusion. This is that's how I think this fight's going to be. Let me repeat it one more time before we go. Ring around the Rosie fight. Okay, Harrison's not going to go toe-to-toe against Charlo. I may be wrong, but hey, this is boxing. You know how it is. Ring around the Rosie. Charlo, he's not going to engage. He's just going to play it safe more than anything. Harrison's going to try to play it safe the most he can, more than anything. Harrison's not going to knock out Charlo. I really don't think that's going to happen. On the contrary, Charlo's going to be more aggressive, like he said in his quotes. Okay, he is more hungrier. I personally think Charlo is more hungrier than Harrison. That's just how I see it, you guys. I mean, I think he's a lot more hungrier. I don't see, this is a couple other things I want to conclude, guys. I don't see Harrison as hungry as Charlo. I don't know why. I just don't see it. I've been seeing all these interviews. I don't see them all, but there are too many. You know what I mean? But all these interviews I have seen in the buildup, between Harrison and Charlo rematch, I don't see Harrison as hungry, man. I just don't. And I reiterate what I said a moment ago. I kind of see Harrison. He's been just trying to hold on and cherish that belt as long as he can before the rematch, because I personally think Charlo's going to take this, guys. Okay, that's my conclusion, man. That's my analysis or prediction, whatever you want to call it. Charlo's going to win. I don't know by KO, man. I hope it is. I'm rooting for Charlo. I'm rooting for the Lion. Lion Tony. I can't make that. Hey, I can't do the imitation of Charlo's voice. It's kind of hard. Yeah, but man, so I hope you guys all enjoy the fight. Okay, let me just top this off with these comments here. When are you going to make your video? Yeah, man, Don Dada, when are you going to make it? Oh, I'm sorry. No, Lala D, right? I'm sorry. Don Dada, just make a quick one tonight. Yeah, man. I made one, Don Dada. All right. Thanks so much, Lala D. Salute, Queen, and Renee Box and peace. And hey, thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, Lions, yeah. Okay, Don Dada, who you got, man? Before you go, who do you got winning? Or are you gonna make a video and you're gonna reveal it there? Man, if you're gonna make a video and you don't want to say here, it's all good. But yeah, man. I got Charlo winning. Okay, hopefully by knockout. I think it will be a knockout, but if it doesn't by knockout, I think it's going to be by decision. But like I said, I think it's going to be he's just going to really beat him down. I think he's going to beat Harrison down. That's how I see it, you guys. But hey, if Harrison wins, nice. I mean, but he really, really has to be convincing this time, not by the skin of his teeth. But I got Charlo, man. I got Charlo. Yeah. All right, guys. Chow, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. And those who are going to tune in after the live, thank you so much. Renee Box Young. You all know what it is. Like, subscribe, share, etc., etc. Shouts from the South, from Mexico. Peace.